I never saw, maybe because the Christmas Story, the title, it maybe threw off my very religious dad.
When you were exposed to being a part of this Christmas party, what was your initial reaction when you were asked to entertain for the event that was actually for the cast of A Christmas Story?
It's okay. So I don't want, okay, let me see how to say this safely.
So, what does it mean to you to go from childhood of not celebrating Christmas to now being connected with The Christmas Story, which is like the most iconic movie in America, being on the podcast? Welcome to another major award edition of Talking a Christmas Story with the cast, and I'm your host, Yano Anaya, also known as Grover Dill from the movie A Christmas Story. Today we have a unique perspective to share with you, as our guest Leah saw A Christmas Story recently for the very first time, and it has already had a deep impact on her. From growing up in a household that didn't watch Christmas movies for religious reasons to performing at the VIP dinner at the 40th anniversary event, our guest's journey has been one of bringing love, tradition, pop culture, and creativity together. So sit back, relax, and join us as we dive into the world of A Christmas Story, crossed cultural boundaries, and found a place in someone's heart. In the world of A Christmas Story, we're transported to a simpler time, where a boy's greatest wish was a Red Ryder BB gun, and the holiday season was a whirlwind of excitement, anticipation, and just a little bit of Christmas magic. It's a film that has been an important part of our holiday tradition since many of us were young, but imagine encountering this classic for the very first time as an adult, with fresh eyes and a different cultural background, 40 years after the film was created. Today's world doesn't always have the blissful simplicity that the movie gives us as a glimpse into. Part of the appeal may be the freedom to escape into a world of a small town where the complexities of our life are limited to fixing the furnace or dealing with a neighborhood bully. But I believe Leah's journey shows us that there is so much more to learn. Her appreciation for the movie is not nostalgia for childhood Christmases past. It is a love for the themes that transcending time and circumstance. It is more than an escape. We can look into the film and see how this masterful work of storytelling unites rather than divides us. What is it about our culture and humanity that holds so true after 40 transformative years have passed? Is it the innocence yearnings of childhood, the importance of simple moments of shared laughter with family around the dinner table, or something more difficult to name but known to us, all on a deeper level? Leah's experience of A Christmas Story is a window into these big questions and a testament to the universal appeal of the film, its humor, and its heart. Today we're exploring how A Christmas Story transcends traditions and touches lives, no matter where they come to it. Our guest today is a vocal artist, Leah Friend. She grew up in a religious Orthodox environment which has instilled in her deep respect for the beauty of tradition. From a young age, she also had a passion for singing and performing. Her dream of becoming a performing artist and her years working as a nanny and household manager opened her heart to many different ways of living life and have helped her find a way to incorporate creativity in her journey without sacrificing the traditions that she loves. She's a caregiver at heart, and she uses her voice to transcend the walls that keep humanity apart. Here on the podcast, she is just here to do that. Welcome to Talking a Christmas Story with the cast, Leah. We are so happy to have you here. So Leah, welcome to Talking a Christmas Story with the cast. It's a pleasure to have you on our show. And what I'm going to do is you have a very unique story when it comes to the movie A Christmas Story. And then, of course, we all have our own unique backgrounds, but yours is different from most fans that I typically meet. And so I have some questions for you because I think that your story is incredibly valuable for those who are not fans just yet. So can you tell us about your upbringing and how it influenced your exposure to different holidays and the traditions?
Yeah, of course. So I grew up Jewish Orthodox, and Christmas was definitely not one of our holidays. But when we were kids, my mom used to bring us to the nice neighborhoods that had all the houses decorated. My dad didn't love it, but we did. And my mom loved that we did. So we would go every year and just see these big, beautiful houses, like 10, 15 minutes away from our home. And we were just like so amazed. And we never learned about the holiday or anything like that or anything in school. So we were kind of just asking our mom or our parents' questions, and they didn't know the answers. So when you're so young, you don't even really, I mean, nowadays it's different, but we didn't really go and try to figure out, on our own what the tree is for, what this represents, or who Noel is. I feel like I still don't know, but I do now. I know all the Christmas songs and I sing them in my living room every year and record them. And I
Right.
love it. It's so great. It's like just it's a beautiful thing to me because I've traveled by now and I've explored the world and people and different cultures and things, and I've had a great time doing it. So it's like kind of cool. It's not like I'm bowing down to anything or praising anything. I'm still very much, Jewish, always going to be because my mom is. I'm very respectful towards the holiday and my family, and I observe Hanukkah, and I still observe all of the Jewish holidays as well. But I love Christmas and Easter and all the holidays that we didn't grow up with. So it's cool. In my place, I have more Christmas decorations than I have Hanukkah decorations. So my place, I have a beautiful white tree, and I'm like always just trying to justify to my family, like, but it's a white tree, it's a Hanukkah bush, like, and just trying to make up like and there's blue and white on it. There's not like a ton of red and green, and because growing up, like you basically, it's not that you're not allowed, but we just don't celebrate it, and we're not supposed to. So um, that's how I grew up, and when I was a nanny for 17 years, there was a Jewish family that I worked for in Irvine, California. And the mom loved decorating. This was the first time I was like, oh, I'm allowed to do it too. And they weren't Orthodox at all. They were either conservative or reform, but she decorated her home so beautifully, inside and out. And I was just like, I'm going to do that one day. Like, I'm totally doing that. And I did. Ever since then, I was like, I'm going to do that. It doesn't mean that I'm like celebrating something or converting or changing things or not respecting my family or my religion. It's beautiful. I love tradition and I love decorating, and why not? Like, so I started doing it. Um, and I love every part of it. It's so great. I mean, I'm sure there's so many stories and experiences that I've had, when I was dating someone and their family decorated, I would decorate for it. I
Right.
love that stuff. I would decorate for them inside, outside. Like, I just love doing it and I'm good at it. So I'm just like, and now I also do it with my job, like my organizing business. I'm decorating around the holidays. I'm helping them declutter and make their home look beautiful for families, and for family when they come over. And it's great. It's so fun. And then I didn't grow up with the movie either. I think the only movie I
Right.
remember was like stuff that had Christmas in it was like Home Alone. I don't even know how my parents let us watch that one. So we watched stuff like that. Or I never saw, maybe because the Christmas Story, the title, it maybe threw off my very religious dad, you
Sure.
know? So
Understood.
yeah.
Let me ask you, a question. When you were a child and you first started to experience the exposure of Christmas from outside of other people's homes, where geographically were you raised?
So I was raised, well, in West Rogers Park. So I'm downtown Chicago right now, and it's about 20 minutes away. It's considered Chicago,
Okay.
but it's right there. And it's a
Hmm.
pretty,
Yeah, Chicago is very Christmas
yeah,
oriented town for
it's
sure.
a big Jewish neighborhood, but we're mixed. So, like everybody's mixed in there. It's like 10 Jewish homes, like, Jewish families, and then it's like a house that has tons of lights and everything. And it wasn't like that much. I think just there's the few houses that go all out. But now I go by there and I, go visit my family, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I remember walking by this house when I was little, and there are some houses that I remember. And I remember that it's been
Wow, that's,
decorated and they're much older now and they still live there, and it's so cool. I love that.
that's so
Yeah.
cool. I think it's amazing that, the draw to just the lights and the reasons as to why do actually people do this, right? When you're a kid, of course, if you're not exposed to that tradition, then anything new, it becomes very curious, and curiosity leads you down that path of trying to understand the why, right?
Right.
And I totally respect that, that you profess that it's not like you're trying to, veer away from your culture or
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
anything like that. It's really just about this innate thing that happens inside of you about curiosity or wanting to understand why that happens. And because it is so attractive to the eye, right? Because it's beautiful. It really is. And
Yeah,
then it's like people put the time and the effort, and it's a tradition every single year that they do these
right.
things. And so having that baseline emotion, because I know
Right.
that you probably do that
I
for
was just,
kids, right? You do it now, right? And so it really kind of derives from that emotion of love, right? Because it's about creating something that is exciting, creating something that has that ability to connect
right,
with something that's beautiful, right?
for sure.
Now, when you were exposed to being a part of this Christmas party, what was your initial reaction when you were asked to entertain for the event that was actually for the cast of A Christmas Story?
It's so, okay. So I don't want, okay, let me see how to say this safely. So my boss didn't even know. Either he didn't know or he didn't tell us because he just got a call from, I guess, the guy, like the agent or whoever, and he places different people in different different like events to perform. So,
Mm.
so I was put on this gig with like I guess we had a drummer, a bass player, and a guitarist. And the bass player also will sing with me. He like saved me. Chris, oh my gosh, Chris Jewell is my savior because there was supposed to be another
No.
person there. She was stuck. There was like
Mm.
a lot of like delays, flight delays. So this girl was stuck. She was supposed to like play the guitar and like she sings as well. And she was going to like take over the stage with me. And then there was a guy, I don't know what he was going to play. He was not showing up either. So I was in charge of this was the main stage. Like I didn't know anything about a main stage, a little stage. Like they were just we pulled up and they all knew what A Christmas Story was. They were like jumping for joy. So I was like jumping for joy and I'm like, yeah, like this is fun. Like I don't know. I'm just like going along with it because it's fun because it's always fun. But then it said like A Christmas Story like on our dressing room. And I was like, they
Hmm.
were freaking out. They were like, look at this. We have like waters and Red Bulls. It's free. Everything's free. Like there's food. And I'm just like, the one guy's like, they're doing a game show. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like I was amazed. And I was just like okay. So I was in the dressing room. Um, I don't know. Were you at the event?
Of
Oh
course.
boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was there. Yeah, we met each
I
other.
don't even know which part I should talk about. Okay, so my hair wasn't I did the whole crimps in the 80s thing, but I didn't do the this after. So it was just flopping in my face as I was singing. I am pretty new or was new. I don't work for them anymore because I'm busy with like a lot of other jobs, but um, I was pretty new to the band and to singing. Like I've sung my whole life, but for friends and family, and I just chose different jobs to be the nanny for 17 years, to like volunteer, to help with other things. I never took voice lessons. I've never pursued my singing. I always hide in my place and do karaoke. Um, so it's so crazy how I
It's-
even got the job, and it's only been a year since I started singing in public. Like I was even always too shy to do karaoke in public, which is how it all started. And so we
mm.
get there. None of us know until we're there. I'm in the dressing room, crimping my hair. Like guys are in there. I have my just like the bra, but I'm trying to cover it with like a jacket, but not the jacket I'm gonna wear because I don't want to get it like dirty or whatever. And I'm watching. I'm Googling. I'm like, hey Siri, please like play the top. And I do say please and thank you. And she'll be like, you're welcome. And I'm like, please play the top scenes from A Christmas Story. And then she like didn't pick up. So I'm like, please play the top scenes from A Christmas Story on YouTube. And then like all this stuff pops up. And I'm for like an hour pressing everything and like looking up the names. Oh, look, Siri's trying to do it right now. She's picking up what I'm saying. Don't play it right now. And I was like
That's
freaking out.
funny.
I'm like, I don't know anything about it. I've never seen it. I was raised Orthodox. Like, and the guys were just like laughing. They're like, you're going to be fine. You're not part of the game show. They're not asking you questions. And we can hear the game show in the dressing room. So that's what I was kind of listening to, but I like lowered it, but I also
Yeah.
wanted to hear it. And then I was like watching
Uh,
scenes from like A Christmas Story. I did end up coming home and watching the entire movie and the new one, as well as the other night when I was like, oh my God, I have to be ready for this. Like, let me watch it one more time, so I can like, it could be more relatable. which it did help. It did
Sure.
help to watch. It's funny. It's cute. Um, but I
So
watched
how
it
did you
again.
feel? How did you feel watching the movie? How was that
It's
experience when you first watched the movie? Like,
relatable. It's
what
relatable.
what stood out to you the most? Yeah.
So I feel like with all of my life experiences, I can relate to
Yeah.
like each character for like different
Mm,
reasons. You know, being a middle child, I'm like one of six, so like relating to certain kids in there,
big
being
fan.
like so against bullying and like being, always volunteering or always like being really protective of people or getting bullied myself in my adult life from people who were very
Mm,
like, I mean, adult problems, or well, kids have it too, but jealousy, insecurity, you know, um,
sure.
people being envious, everything. So I dealt with it based off of my like own life experiences. And I know I've come a long way with it. So I'm watching them and I'm like not talking to the screen, not there, but in my head I'm like, no, don't do that, or don't bully him, or ow, why is he punching him so hard or so much? But then I was like, yeah,
Mm.
get him back. Like, after Ralphie snapped and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, good. Or like I was actually found myself laughing when he, the whole you'll shoot your eye out thing. I thought it was really cute, but it's relatable. Each character, or like if I see the mom acting a certain way or the dad, like I can be like, oh, I remember my mom like doing this, or my friend's mom being like that. So it's really interesting to observe it as an adult for my first time, in that way.
So then it sounds like you have a lot of particular relatable scenarios in the movie that resonates with you. I wanted to ask you, like, what was your specific thing that really intrigued you about it? But it seems like you've got a lot. But do you have like a favorite scene? Is there anything in the movie that,
Mm.
like, 100% that scene is like that to me? Like, that was the one, that's the time that really resonated with you the most?
Ooh. Um, I'm trying to think. I really related to everybody. It's so like the teacher, it's as far as like the family part of it. We do the same thing. Hanukkah, we have 8 days. We open presents. We sit around, not a tree, but like a table or the floor or the couch, and we all get together. And it made me. I'm not
Mm,
going to get emotional,
mm.
but it made me miss.
It's okay. You can.
You want
That's
me
quite all
to.
right. You
You
can.
want me to.
Yeah, of course I do. This
It,
this this movie, talking about it, relating it to life and your personal experiences, always
yeah.
brings out emotions. It does, and it's I'm a I guess I would say I'm a very different type of human being because living in your emotions and living in the moment is the essence of
Of
life.
course.
And when you can feel vulnerable enough and feel comfortable
Of
enough to do that
course.
at any given time, of course, circumstances are always going to be relevant, right? But being able to do that
Yeah.
and feel comfortable doing that, then I always encourage that.
Same. And I do it too. But then for me, I'm just like, no, but I like it because I like to show people that they can be that way as well. But it
Yeah.
just brought me back to like family. I'm one of six kids. I have 25 nieces and nephews. Um, so we have a big family, but like we're not as close as we used to be. Like I'm always reaching out to everybody and I'm like, hey, how are you? Like happy this holiday, that holiday, or like how are you feeling? Because somebody's always pregnant. I have a sister with 12 kids. Literally, I have a sister with 12 kids, my and a dog.
Oh my
My youngest sister is
12?
has
Oh,
yeah, 12. Same mom, same dad, no
wow.
twins, no triplets. So it's
Wow,
a
that's many years.
yeah.
That is a huge
She's like also only like 41, I think. So it's
wow, that's
wild. Her
awesome.
her oldest daughter also has she just had her second baby. So we have a big family and we used to be able to get together. Most of us were living in Chicago, or my
Mm,
brother would come in from New York and my sister and stuff. And it was really nice. And it's still nice to know I have, a big family and stuff. But it's hard because like everybody gets older, they have their own families, they move.
sure,
So it was like
sure.
really nice to it's really nice to like have holidays together, and I miss it. I miss it. So I try to have like, friends over or FaceTime my family and things like that. It's not the same. So now I have the
Yeah,
three the
you
three dogs.
100%. So, I got a question about the movie and about your experience, about Christmas, about family, because you do have a large family. and I've got actually a large family too. Like I've got dozens of cousins and nephews in New York. When it comes to this movie, your first experience of it really resonated with you. Have you had communications with other family members about the movie and like your first time watching it, what it kind of means to you or them? Has that happened at all?
So I spoke to my dad about it, like just because I'm in touch with him recently the most, because everyone else has a million kids. Um, but I told him that I was doing like a podcast for the movie, and I've asked, I think my mom, I asked like if they've either ever heard of the movie. They're all like Orthodox, hence the bunch of kids. So they would never bring it to their home. They would never play that movie in their house with their kids. They just won't, because that's not what they're trying to show their kids or teach their kids. Their kids already know like what Christmas is, and like that people celebrate it and they respect it because people celebrate it, and that's it. And that's really what like our religion is about. It's not like exposing us to like outside things, you know, that's not like considered following the religion or the Torah and things like that. So I got out of all of that. I still do a lot. I still follow a lot, but I got out of my, it sounds bad. I got out. I left. I started working at a really young age. I started where I know, right? I escaped. It's funny. When I was younger,
I
I
heard
wanted
that.
to get like, what is it called? Like emancipated or something. It sounds so much worse than
Sure.
it is. It sounds like a really
It
bad
is,
word,
sure.
but it also
It's
sounds just like a bad
people can
word.
work younger than permission. Yeah, it's
It's
not. It's
right.
not. Emancipation is a term that I've been used to because of being an actor when I was a kid.
Oh,
Like
wow.
certain situations, being emancipated allows you more opportunity to
Right.
work because you have to
Absolutely.
have a guardian if you're not emancipated.
It's so funny. A lot of people
That's
don't
really
even know
cool.
what that word means. But so I got out. I started working at 13, 13 years
Oh,
old.
wow. What
And
were you doing at
so
13?
I
What were
started
you doing at 13?
working for families in the neighborhood. So I worked at our synagogue, and I was like the teacher for all the holidays, and every Saturday, some Friday nights and every Saturday while the parents were in synagogue, like praying. So I was in charge every Sabbath of like a group anywhere from 5 kids to 40 kids, and doing like morning prayer and like, okay, like who ate breakfast, who didn't, literally like a teacher. And sometimes on the holidays, the
Mhm.
prayer is like 3 hours long. So I'm just like, I loved it. I didn't mind it. I think it was $20 a weekend. So I started that at 14. The 13 thing was like like a babysitter. 14, I was already at the synagogue, like I don't, it was so cool. I loved it. It was by my house. It was the same synagogue my family went to. And then I started working for families that went to the synagogue. They're like, "Oh, can you work for us for the summer? Or can you work during the year
That's
after
amazing.
school?" And that's how it all started. Um, yeah, I don't know if Priya told you, but and you can edit this out. I ended up being a live-in nanny for Britney Spears in 2007.
Really?
So I grew up Jewish
It's amazing.
Orthodox. I was still keeping kosher with Britney. And somehow, and when I was, I don't even know what age, maybe 15, 16, I'm literally cutting out things of Britney in magazines and putting them next to pictures of me that I hoped and dreamed and assumed looked like that picture. I look back now, definitely
Wow.
not, did not look anything like it.
That's a question that I did have about you being a nanny, right? So it seems like it was inspired just, and if you think about what you did, going to find a hustle, want to work at the synagogue in a place that you feel safe and comfortable in,
Yeah.
you were at service. Like literally, you're giving a service. You're at service to other people, and that's what you
Oh, I
do.
live
It's
for
what you did.
that. I was born, I feel like, to
Yeah,
do that,
yeah.
and I live
So
for that for sure.
throughout your entire experience and career of being a nanny, being at service to other people, and not not being conditional about it. Of course, you get paid for your time, but what was, in your experience, the best gift that you got back for giving so much?
It's funny you say that because I'm always, and I mean, I'm pretty humble about it, I feel like, but I'm always helping people.
So, you being so humble, are you even okay with receiving? Like, if somebody were to give you a gift, you're not okay with receiving. So, I know that that's difficult for you. I get that 100%. But Leah, it's okay to receive.
I'm working on it. I'm so much better at it. Somebody told me about a book a long time ago, which I'm sure there's been many written after that, called The Art of Receiving. And somebody's like, you have to read that because you don't know how to receive. I can receive like compliments better. I do say thank you right
Sure.
away, like, because I've had people years ago just be like, just say thank you. But like, then there's the
Yeah.
people that comment on like things like your figure, your body, your hair, your face. And I'm just like, this is a shell. Like, it's just a shell,
Yeah.
Like, I don't thank you, but I don't
Mhm.
care. Like, everyone's like, are you a trainer? Like, you probably work out every day and eat healthy? And I'm like, I just had cheese fries, 2 slices of pizza, like ice cream and sorbet. I was double fisting ice, Italian ice last night, and the Italian ice and ice cream, a cookies and cream ice cream. Why? Because I
Yeah.
can and because I want to. And because, like, if I were to die tomorrow, I rather say that I ate ice cream and Italian ice instead of having, like, and help somebody instead of saying that, like, I had a conversation about politics or whatever else everyone talks about. You know what I mean? So I do have a hard time receiving, but I am better at it and I'm working on it. And I just prefer to give. I'm always going to be that way. Everyone's like, why do you care? Why do you this? Why? I see things from a mile away. I'm extremely observant and intuitive. I've lived on the streets in another country when I was in Israel. I've lived in a Motel 6. I lived in Britney Spears' house. I live in a gorgeous, beautiful, huge 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment now. Now I'm older and I'm like, for what? Like, I'm looking around and trying to get rid of things, right? Like, I'm just like, why do I have, and I think it's because I've always come from like a big I'm from a big family and I've always said that I was going to have my own family. I have a dining room table with 6 chairs. Why? It's me and now 3 dogs. Like, I'm not propping my dogs up on the chairs and like eating with them. I don't even eat at it. It just looks beautiful. But I'm always taking really good care of my things. And I'm like, well, but I'm going to have, a husband one day and kids. And then that table will be in perfect condition as it has been for 10 years, beautiful white table. And I already have 6 chairs. What are a set of 6 dishes? Everything is in 6, 8, like it's crazy. And I still think that way. I still have that mindset. Like, everything looks like it has a huge family here. I have a storage unit with
Mm.
Christmas bins, Easter bins, Hanukkah bins. Like, it looks like
So,
that's how it would look if I had a house with a garage. The garage would be lined up and perfectly organized with bins for every holiday and everybody that comes over. Football, what's it called? Super Bowl. I have football bowls. Like, what am I doing? Right? So it's like,
mm,
it's mostly for other people though. Like I said earlier, I pack my bag for
sure.
others.
Sure.
I don't need all that stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I love it. I'm working on receiving. I will always be a giver. That's not changing. I will always be protective. I'm a Leo. I just had my birthday. Like, I am,
Happy birthday.
thank you. Thank you. It was Saturday. And
You're welcome.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. I worked a double shift. It was awesome.
I want to ask you about your music. So,
Oh, wow.
if people want to listen to you or hear your music and connect with you, what is the best way to find you? Because we'll add all this
Um,
information to our.
that is so sweet of you. I wish I could say that even though I was pursuing it for like a hot minute, which I think is so meant to be, that during
Mhm.
that hot minute, I did, I was at the Hard Rock performing for your guys' event. Um,
Yeah.
I went back to working like 6 jobs, like for 6 different companies and busting my butt in the heat, like doing things that most people don't want to do and taking so that I could take care of the dogs. I was singing the national anthem for a hockey team private at a private hockey rink in the suburbs for the
Mhm.
last 4.5 years. I was taking the train there every day or Uber or like 2 different trains. And it was great. I don't mind it. I love the adventure every day. I don't live for convenience. Now I feel like if people want to see me, I keep saying go Facebook Live, do this. I don't have time. I'm always taking care of other people. So I, unfortunately, right now, I could say the only way is to like contact me through social media or we could FaceTime and I'll sing you a song through my FaceTime call in my apartment. It'll be that
Right on.
personal. But otherwise, all the other ways to like sing for people, whether it's for free or to make money, my friends have suggested it for years. And I'm like, wait, but Tony's waiting downstairs and he hasn't eaten yet. My guy Tony, lives in a shelter and he comes downstairs every day and he wants to hang out and he wants me to say
Mhm.
hi. So like, living with Britney Spears, I'm like, I didn't even think twice about pursuing my music. Sony Records, Columbia Records, whoever she was with at the time, I cared about her and her kids and like doing my job and making sure to be like protective and
Yeah,
that nobody was bothering
sure.
her. And I have great stories, it's like I have great stories. I have
Um,
memorabilia. I have things that I just like don't care to pursue or sell, even though like it would make me more money, it would get me more followers, which I don't care about. So I don't know. I just haven't pursued it yet. But it doesn't, I say yet
okay.
because it doesn't
All
mean
right.
that,
Enough.
doesn't mean that I
Enough. For
can't,
sure. For sure.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So I got one last question for you.
Oh,
So what does it mean to you to go from childhood of not celebrating Christmas to now being connected with the Christmas Story, which is like the most iconic movie in America, being on the podcast?
so it's interesting. I've always tried to, you're trying to make me cry. I know it. It's not going to work. I always tried to like justify to my family, like, because I wasn't religious. So I was like, oh, but I still do this and I still say that and I still say the night prayer and I still wash my hands in the morning to like purify my hands, like all these things. And I have like the mezuzahs up on my doorpost, which is like something to protect the home and things like that. And I'm just like, I felt myself always trying to prove myself and justify. And now it's so beautiful because when I turned 34, I was like, stop trying to justify. So it's just, it's like found myself justifying the religious stuff, and now I find myself like not trying to like change anybody in my family, but like, and not really justify, but kind of justify and prove that like that is all amazing that other people have Christmas and they sit around with their families just like we do. It's like it's not that far off. It's not that different. Like, and I still love my religion and I still love my background and where I come from and how I was raised, and I'm so grateful and I always will be. But I'm always going to have a white Christmas tree and I'm always going to celebrate Christmas the way that I do. Like it's awesome. I love opening presents. I get presents for the dogs. You should see, like, I'll get you a picture at some point. I have presents, fake presents, real presents, like bags,
Right
boxes,
on.
bows. It's a beautiful thing. If it brings family together or if it brings you memories of your family, or brings people together in any way, like whether it's at church or at the home or wherever your place is of worship or fun, like why not? Why not? And I don't know if you've noticed, I have a little Santa right here. Did you see him?
Of course I have.
Okay, he was
Yes.
my inspiration.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
the red, the red.
So I love your story, and I love the fact that you're very open about it and communicating about it, and that you are open to
Always.
other things, right? Because when we, and I'm gonna keep it 100% real in my experience of life of, my father was Catholic, my mother was Christian, right? So there was that battle in the house, although my father passed away when I was about 6 years old. So I didn't
Oh no,
have him for the rest of my life.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
but no, it's okay. I was raised by my two sisters and my mom, right? So being exposed to being open about what the true essence of family or respect or how you hold yourself or how you respect other people, when we look at, like, when you walked into that church and you just had this overwhelming feeling, that's energy, right? That's just a presence of energy that engulfed your entire
Oh my
body.
gosh, yeah.
And if we were to separate, or if we were to, just not think about religion or think about the programming traditions that have been passed down for thousands of years, and we strip all of that away, what is the point? The point and the purpose is one emotion, and that one emotion boils down to love. And what I find most fascinating is that when we can strip away all else, even with A Christmas Story, when we look at all of the lessons that are learned inside of the movie, we look at how the relatability of each character, or those experiences that we had about bullies or experiences about our friends doing dumb stuff when we were kids, it all boils down to how we relate that to our life, and how the essence of love is what actually brings us together. That's the thread, between you and your family, even though outside of all the craziness or lack of being able to talk because they're busy in life,
Right,
and
right.
the what holds us together, it comes down to that one emotion of love. And so I just want to say that I'm grateful that you shared your story with us, because it does have an impact for a lot of people that may resonate with how important what your experience is, because it's okay for people to not know what a Christmas story is,
Right.
because there's so many
Yeah.
of them out there. You know what I mean? When they're exposed to it, it does start to resonate so much with the messages in the movie. So your experience of Christmas and how the unique, integrations of cultures has brought you to a point where, again, you do it openly, and you do it relentlessly, and you do it where you feel just the love about feeling the joy behind celebration, right?
Yeah.
Because celebration brings a lot of really positive energy, right? And so the reason why we have these podcasts is to create this digital aspect where future generations can come back and kind of understand that this movie has a huge impact on those that never really watched it as a kid, or even had exposure to a culture that was exposed to Christmas. So
Yeah.
your story, seriously, your story is very important to pass along, because you're not alone. I'll tell you that right now. And
Yeah.
you already know that your experience, even though your unique experience of it is yours, there are thousands of others that have the same kind of story. And you already know, when you have conversations with people, that you can resonate with specific things that you don't ever have conversations with any other people. It creates a specific bond.
Hmm.
And so, by you being present and speaking to our audience about your experience, it makes a huge impact.
Yeah, I
So I
hope
just
so.
want you to know
Hmm.
that you have given some more. And I'm trying to give you back a thank you again, and I hope you receive that with a lot of love and kindness, that we appreciate your time. And I have one last question for you. So if there was anything that you would love to say to somebody who has not experienced Christmas or experienced the movie just yet, from your heart, what would you like to express to them?
Um, I would like to basically just send a message to everybody to just be more like open-minded, open-hearted, and not have, don't let even family pressure you into
Mm,
anything that you don't feel safe or comfortable doing. Even if it's like showing up, if you're not ready to show up, and that it's okay to celebrate Christmas or anything downstairs with the homeless guy, or like with a family's, a friend's family, without feeling like you're a loner, or you're alone in general, or by yourself, or that you don't have family or friends or people that care. I think like it's important to just try to find that self love and that self care first. And I think that, or I know that if you can get to that point, that like you'll feel so free in everything, that will like be like a domino effect to everything else in your life. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I have a huge family, and sometimes I feel very alone and by myself, and I'm okay with it. Like, have found ways to deal with it even during holidays. And they say like all these things happen during holidays. People break up, or people, fight, or whatever it is. And it's like, but once you find that peace, that inner peace, and that self love and that self care, like there's no such thing as that. Even if you are in the chaos, even if you go to your family and it's like crazy, you're like looking at everybody like they're aliens. But really, I feel like I'm the alien that's like, peace, I'm out. Like, I'm set, I'm good. Like, you guys could finish fighting. Like, even if I'm sitting there, I'm able to like, and my family doesn't really fight. I'm just saying, like, we're not together to fight, but like we all love each other. We're all really close. But it's like, if I feel like that's one of the things I always hear. There's people that like don't get along, or I'm not talking to my mom or my sister or my this or my that. And I'm just like, why? Why? Just be there and talk to them. Like, your parents took care of you when you were younger, change your diapers, and eventually you're going to have to do it for them. Literally, it's like, so if you still have them around, which, like you said, you don't have, like, you didn't have your dad, like, that might have been really hard for you. And some other people, it might have not have been so hard. Or you can have a dad that, or a mom that, like, doesn't treat you nicely your whole life. So which one's like, better or whatever. So it's not one is better than the other. So if you find that self love and the self care, and you're your own mom, dad, best friend, therapist, whatever it is, I always tell people I had to get to that point in my life at one point when I was living in another country. It's so freeing. You can handle anything. You can handle anything at all from anybody. So just know that, like, you're not alone. If you can just work on finding, like, yourself, then you have yourself, because that's all you really have at the end of the day. That's, I mean, mostly from personal experience, but I think that that will help a lot of people.
Yeah, your personal experience will resonate with hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of human beings.
Oh, I
And I
hope.
think it will. And the reason why it will is because from a very young age, it's I like to say that our families kind of give us the values and program us as a child, right, to exposure to this life, but we're born with a
Yeah.
specific nature already, and you have a nature of giving, which is so vital and essential in this world, especially today. So I like to just say
Yeah.
thank you for being who
Mm,
you are, because you're an amazing human being.
thank
And
you.
if you haven't been told that enough, then you need to hear that more often, because the nature that you have given, and being present in life, it's we need more humans like you. So thank you.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. And what you say resonates with not only the cast, it resonates with the human race, and that's something that for me is important.
Good.
100%.
That
So,
says a lot about you
um,
too.
100%. A lot of cool experiences in life, you know what I mean? And you said you hit the nail on the dot. When you can recognize the love for yourself, everything else is second nature. Because when you can take care of yourself, it's easy to take care of other people. But when you are not taking care of yourself, or if you're not in a place where you have a higher level of energy, then it's difficult to take care of other people.
Yeah.
So you have this vibrant energy. You do. So thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
We want to thank Leah for sharing her unique journey with A Christmas Story. It's really incredible to see how this film continues to bring joy and resonate with people from all walks of life. Her story will remind us that the magic of the holidays and the universal themes of childhood dreams and family bonds can actually bridge cultural divides and bring us all closer together. We hope our listeners really truly enjoyed this special episode and continue to find new and meaningful connections with the movies that they love. As you reflect on the impact the movie may have had on you and your family, whether you've watched it once or hundreds of times, we hope you bring the spirit of it into your everyday life all year around. Now, I want to let you know how you can just do that. The A Christmas Story family has come together months ago to create something truly unique just for you. The A Christmas Story family immersion experience. Now imagine this. You're not just watching your favorite scene from A Christmas Story sitting on your couch. You're going to be living it. You're interacting with the cast, weaving those beloved moments into your family's everyday life. This is the magic that we bring to you at A Christmas Story family. And what makes this even more extraordinary is on December 16th, 2023, for the 40th anniversary of A Christmas Story, we held the biggest event in the movie's history in its birthplace, Hammond, Indiana. The night before the grand celebration, we hosted a very special dinner with the cast, including Peter Billingsley, who plays Ralphie, the mayor of Hammond, Irwin Zwilling, Gene Shepard's accountant and very close friend, as well as producer on A Christmas Story Christmas, the board members from Hammond, Indiana, now also many other distinguished guests. At this exclusive dinner, we unveiled our specially crafted gift boxes. These weren't just any box. They were designed to look just like the iconic leg lamp crate and filled with major awards only the old man could dream of. Each box, valued at over $2,500, was a tribute to the film's legacy and was given to our special guests to commemorate this historic milestone. We only made 28 of these rare boxes, making them incredibly valuable and very exclusive. But that's just the beginning. Because now, for the very first time ever, we are actually giving you the chance to get one of these exclusive boxes to enhance this new magical experience. And the best part about it, it's free. And to make it even more magical and historic, for the very first time ever in the 40-year history of the movie, we are recreating the original leg lamp design as seen in the movie. An exact replica. It has never been done before. Our partner Ruben Fried, the original creator of the leg lamp, and Bob Clark's close friend, who still has the original sketches of the leg lamp made for the movie, is bringing the original leg lamp and its original specs and design back to life for you. And it also comes in that box for free. The cast and I have been working on this secret for months, like I said, and now it's time for you to discover its beauty. We invite you to check it out. Give us your honest feedback and join us on this incredible journey. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. So just go to www.christmasstoryfamily.com/free box to find out more. Join us and become part of our extended family. Your exclusive journey awaits you.
Who's next? That deal guy.